parental consent when you're 16.
That's right.
Is that right? Kayla Young is with us, Democratic delegate from Kanawha County, and she has a bill that's come out of House Judiciary Committee that would change that. Kayla, first of all, I did check that, but that's the case now? 16, you can get married?
It's 16 with parental consent or under 16 if a judge signs off on it, which does happen.
Really?
Yep. So there's actually no floor,
Really?
which is pretty scary.
Yeah.
One of the only states in the country.
Yeah. So, but would there be an instance where a judge would sign off on somebody who's under 16 getting married?
Yes, there are a lot of instances, over 41 instances in the last 20 years. The youngest age is 14.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So what got you interested in this in particular?
It was a statistic that I saw randomly a few years ago online. West Virginia actually has the highest rate of child marriage in the country. So we're number one in something, but it's something bad. So I'm hoping that we can raise it to 18, because you can't sign a contract unless you're 18 years old. I'm not sure why you can get married.
So what's your bill do specifically?
It specifically sets the age of consent for marriage at 18.
Okay. And was there debate about it in judiciary, or are people like, oh, yeah, I didn't even know that. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Most people don't know, and they are okay. It's something that I've gotten a lot of bipartisan support on it because a lot of Republicans see it as part of their pro-life agenda and protecting children, and I agree with them. I think that it is. And there was a little pushback because we have some people who their children were married as children or their parents were married as children. It's something we see in a lot of older generations, but the times are changing, and I think we need to change with them.
Yeah, that's interesting because I imagine there are some older folks who say my parents got married at 17.
Yep.
You know, back when people got married
at
17.
Absolutely, but statistics have shown us that of the child marriages, there's been over 700 since the year 2001, and of those, only 5% were two teenagers. Most were a teenager and an adult.
Oh, okay.
The biggest case was a 56-year-old woman that was married to a 16-year-old boy.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem. Or I thought you were going to go the other way. Like a 45-year-old guy married to a 16-year-old girl.
There's a lot of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be, so currently under the law in West Virginia, you know, a guy who's my age could marry a 16-year-old if the 16-year-old's parents signed off on it.
That's right, and it's a big human trafficking concern.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because some people will marry their children off.
Oh, geez. Okay. So that bill's moving. It's probably going to pass. You and the Family Values Republicans are actually in the same place on this.
That's right. We're in the same place on a lot of stuff.
You are?
Yeah.
Come on.
Protecting kids.
All right. Let me go to Campus Carry then, because I don't think you're in the same place on Campus Carry.
I don't think so.
No. So Campus Carry passed out of the House pretty overwhelmingly. You were one of the no votes. What was your opposition to Campus Carry?
I listened to my constituents, and I have a lot of students in my district, and they didn't want it, and neither did their parents, so I listened to them. I understand the arguments on both sides. I know that the universities were opposed, but did get some concessions in the bill. So being in a super minority like we are, we can't really stop anything. But I listened to my people, and they didn't want this.
Yeah, so it was a no vote. What is it like, and are you in your third term, second term?
This is my second term.
Second term. What's it like to be in the super minority in the House?
It's not easy. It's a lot of hitting our heads against the wall, but honestly, I think this year hasn't been as bad as the last two. It's been pretty slow session so far, I think.
Yeah. So, do you feel like there are things... Well, this is a bill, like you said, the parental consent probably going to get bipartisan support.
Yeah. Yeah, there's bipartisan sponsors. We actually ran out of slots on the sponsors. We had more people that wanted to sign on. Got it.
Okay. Kayla Young, Democrat, Kanawha County, on a bill to raise the legal marriage age without parental consent to 18.
That's right.
Correct. Okay. And it's out of judiciary, so be reported to the floor.
We hope to see it reported to the floor today.
Okay, got it. All right. Thanks, Kayla. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right. Thanks for coming on. All right, we'll take a break and come back on Metro News Talkline. Pop into a West Virginia lottery retailer today and play Cash Pop. Playing is simple. Match a single number and win prizes from 5 to 500 times your wager for that number. In fact, Cash Pop could have you winning up to $5,000. Drawings are every 15 minutes. Just match one number from 1 to 15 for your chance to win Cash Pop. Talkline returns to the AARP broadcast location right after this.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you. At
At the Health Plan, we are here for you, and we have been one of the most trusted carriers for over 40 years. Headquartered right here in West Virginia, providing exceptional health coverage and local customer service.
The Health Plan, we are here for you.
West Virginia state senators voted to give patients and employers who offer dental insurance more value for their money. Up to 40% of dental insurance premium dollars are being kept by out-of-state insurance companies to cover administrative costs rather than the actual cost of your care. Senate Bill 290, the Dental Transparency Act, will require more transparency from dental insurers about how they spend their money. Please reach out to your delegate and ask them to support Senate Bill 290, consumer protection legislation that puts patients first, paid for by the West Virginia Dental Association.
People come here in search of answers. They come here for healing and to regain their quality of life. Here, we have healthcare professionals that provide extraordinary care and amazing results. Here is in West Virginia, where our hospitals are making discoveries, providing relief, and restoring your health. I am Dina Zirkle, a West Virginia nurse, and I invite you to learn more about your community hospitals. West Virginia Hospitals, defining resilience up to the challenge.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at WVHA.org.
Golf Week called Pete Dye Golf Club one of America's best modern courses. Golf Digest recently called Pete Dye one of America's 100 greatest courses, and Pete Dye calls it 18 of the most exciting and memorable holes I've ever built on one course. Pete Dye Golf Club invites you to join the only course named after the legendary designer himself. National, corporate, and local memberships available now for a limited time. Visit PeteDye.com to learn more. Come play where the Mountaineers play. Pete Dye Golf Club.
This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
West Virginia is home,
Metro
where we
News
work,
this morning,
play,
the
and
biggest-
raise our families. And at the heart are West Virginia hospitals and the compassionate caregivers within them. From life-saving treatments and emergency care to wellness support and screening services, we're improving your quality of life through extraordinary measures and amazing results. Beyond our walls and in your communities, West Virginia hospitals are your trusted home for lifelong health. West Virginia Hospitals, best of care, close to home.
At Greer Industries, we make the roads you drive on safer with skid-resistant asphalt. We make the water you drink cleaner with our abundant supply of hydrated lime. We entertain and inform through all types of media. And we designed one of the world's most recognized golf courses. We're Greer Industries, a family-owned company with over 110 years of commitment to making your life better.
I'm Rusty, and I'm the owner of Mountaineer Roasting. I discovered a passion for coffee during a study abroad trip to Nicaragua. I wanted to take that passion to grow the coffee industry here in my home state. A huge part of making that possible was the Promise Scholarship that I received. I'm really proud that our coffee is statewide and even in our state parks.
Proceeds from the West Virginia Lottery has helped generate more than $3.7 billion in education for students like Rusty. When you play, you say yes to West Virginia.
From a young age, math influences our lives.
To create.
To build from scratch. With math, I learned to persevere. I learned to try again.
With math, I can move forward.
I learned to identify problems in the real world around me and find unique solutions.
With math, I succeed.
With math, I succeed.
Be confident. Take the pledge.
Math for life.
Metro News Talkline with Hoppy Kercheval is brought to you by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Back at the Encova Insurance Studios at the AARP broadcast location here at the state capitol. So we mentioned earlier, I asked Brad about that, but the House Bill 3042, which is called the RFRA bill, and it is short for the acronym for Religious Freedom Restoration Act, the RFRA bill. And it passed out of House Committee yesterday. It relates to forbidding government limitations on the exercise of religion. Brad McElhenney reported it says that no state action, according to the bill, no state action may substantially burden a person's exercise of religion unless it's essential to a compelling government interest or in the least restrictive means of furthering that compelling government interest. So the proponents say it is there as a protection for individuals who that the practice of their faith cannot be infringed upon. The opponents say it is unnecessary. One of those opponents is Delegate Mike Pushking, Democrat from Kanawha County. Mike, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. Why do you think it's unnecessary?
Well, we already have protection for religious freedom in this country. I mean, I can tell you that firsthand. The whole reason that, my great-grandparents moved to this country 100 years ago was to escape real religious persecution in Eastern Europe. And since then,
you're of the Jewish faith, so
I'm Jewish, but plenty of families and plenty of different religious minorities have moved to the United States of America, the greatest country in the world, have moved here for years because of the religious freedom that we protect in this country, and we've done a very good job of doing that. We have the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which protects our religious freedom. West Virginia goes even further, has even stronger protections in our First Amendment to the West Virginia Constitution. We have the Human Rights Act, which treats religion as a protected class. You can't be fired because of your religion. You can't be evicted because of your religion. We already protect religious freedom in this country, and we also have a federal RFRA law that was passed a long time ago that was much more narrow than this, which was aimed at protecting religious minorities. The proponents of this bill will claim that this is about protecting religious minorities. No religious minorities are asking for this bill because we don't need it. Nobody has infringed upon our right to practice our religion.
Then what do you think it's about?
It's hard to tell because it is written so poorly and it is so broad. It's so much more broad than the federal religious freedom laws. I think what it will do is it'll create an environment where people could really sue over just about any law. It creates an environment where people could be having frivolous lawsuits left and right if they feel that this interferes with a strongly held religious belief that's not really well defined. I mean, Republicans have been claiming that we were in a judicial hellhole just years ago. Now they want to take us back into one by passing this ambiguous law that makes the law less clear and really invites a whole host of lawsuits based on different perceived preferences.
Would it be, Delegate Mike Pushkin's with us, Democrat from Kanawha County, would it be a protection for the baker who, because of deeply held religious beliefs, does not want to make the cake for the gay couple?
I don't know if it shouldn't protect them, but it'll definitely give that baker the cause to go into court and sue over it, and it's going to clog up our courts with all these different types of law because somebody feels like they're not able to practice it. Look, everybody's allowed to practice their religion any way they want to in this country. Okay, if you're a baker and you're baking a cake for somebody, that's your job. If you feel, maybe it's an inconvenience for you. It's not just the baker. Think about this. What about a caterer that doesn't want to do bar mitzvahs? Are we going to protect that? That we'll have cases like that in court. It muddies up the law, and I feel that the proponents are trying to create like a license to discriminate against certain lifestyles that they may or may not approve of. Actually, this could be more harmful for religious minorities.
Do you think that it would impact, or do you think, and again I should ask the other side of this, but is it aimed at ordinances that maybe have passed in municipalities in West Virginia to protect the LGBTQ community?
I definitely could. I think that's what it's a response to, is that many of the municipalities in the state have done what the legislature can't do, is unable to do, and that's to simply add sexual orientation and gender identity to the state Human Rights Act. We haven't been able to do that, which we should, to say simply you can't be fired or evicted because of who you are. So different municipalities have passed that. I believe this is a response to that, and we'll get these municipalities in court. It's unnecessary, and it'll go ahead.
Let me switch gears, because I think I was told that you're up to speed on this. So if I curveball you and you're not, just tell me, and that's fine. But I've been following also the issue concerning Delta 8, Delta 10. Are you up to speed on that issue?
The first time I even saw Delta 8 was when I was discussing it with Mike Stewart, and he dumped a bag of it out in front of me. He carries a bag of it around.
Okay, so
I can say my concern with any kind of laws that are banning one thing is that it's not going to stop people from using. It doesn't really get to the root cause of drug use or addiction, and what it will do is push people back to the black market, where who knows what they're going to be getting. I think we're better off when we have something that's It's regulated and safer and out of the hands of children.
Yeah, and again, I have you at a disadvantage because I've been following it fairly closely, but it gets complicated because there's Delta 8 and Delta 10, and Delta 8 primarily, and that has been approved by the State Department of Agriculture, and it's a legal product, and it's sold legally. You're supposed to be 18 to buy it. Then there's these other offshoots that are synthetic, that you don't know exactly what's in it, and I think they're probably bought online and repriced and sold.
And
at
Mike
some
Stewart's
locations.
buying stuff. What he's showing people is stuff he bought online.
Well,
It's not what's being sold at your.
Well, it's not at Parmore. It's not at your local convenience store, but it might be at a vape shop or something like that.
I'm not sure, but I think that
you and I need to go shopping and see what we can find. So anyway,
you don't need to go shopping. Just go talk to Senator Stewart. He carries a big briefcase of it in the Capitol.
I'm packing right now, in fact, some things that dropped off with me. You were a no vote on campus carry?
Yeah, I think it's another bill that's just unnecessary, and I think we should allow the college campuses to make these rules for themselves. I'm not hearing a huge public outcry for more guns on college campuses, just like I'm not hearing a public outcry for for religious freedoms that are already protected in the First Amendment. And too often, and I think it's a byproduct of having this lopsided super duper majority, too often legislators are just doing what they want instead of actually working on the issues that they're needed to work on. They're not doing what's needed, they're just doing what they want. And they're just checking boxes that you see going on in other states. And it's not definitely aimed at the issues that affect the real lives of West Virginians. And that's what we look. West Virginia has a lot of issues. That's what we should be focused on. We need to be focused on helping these 7,000 to 8,000 children in the foster care system. We need to have a real fix for PEIA. We have staffing shortages in our classrooms. We have staffing shortages in our prisons and our correctional facilities. We have real issues we need to address instead of addressing fake issues about this perceived infringement upon religious freedom. That's just not happening. I can't. Can you think of one instance where anyone's religious freedom has been infringed upon in this country?
In this country? Well, that's a broad topic. Let me Google it, as Don Lemon would say. Mike Pushking, Democratic delegate from Kanawha County and also chair of the Democratic Party. Mike, good to see you.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Thanks. Talkline continues. We'll return to the AARP broadcast location at the Encova Church Studios right after this.
When kids are small, we tend to spend most of our time saying no instead of yes. As our parents and grandparents age, we sometimes say no to visits